as we all saw, Thanos died in Avengers Endgame. Twice. I mean, first his, normal self from the regular timeline, and then also his 2014 self that came to 2023. But now it seems like he may be making a huge return to the MCU, and this is a rumor coming from Jeremy Conrad at MCU Cosmic. I will leave the link to the article down in the description below if you want to check it out. But Jeremy Conrad, sometimes he's got some good stuff, sometimes he's not. But he's saying that this is coming from his most reliable source. So, of course, just take this with a grain of salt because it is just a rumor. But this is his most reliable source, and sometimes he's been very good at getting scoops like this. So, I say this is highly likely. Plus, it makes complete sense. So basically, the rumor is that currently Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige are trying to figure out a way to work Thanos back into the MCU, at least for one more movie. And it makes complete and total sense because, before Avengers Infinity War, no one knew who Thanos was, unless you're like a super comic book nerd. But then, as soon as Infinity War came out, now he's become like a worldwide meme, and you see him in TikToks and memes all the times and stuff. So, he's a world phenomenon, and like everyone knows who Thanos is now. He's a big wrinkly raisin dude. Purple dude with a gauntlet collecting some sparkly stones. Who doesn't know Thanos? So obviously they want to kind of cash in on that. Because it worked out having him in 2 movies, so might as well bring him back. Now, as for how this would actually work, I honestly have no idea how this would actually happen, because like I said, he did. But, of course, with time travel and the multiverse now part of the MCU, you can really do anything. So, of course, we could see him from an alternate universe in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness or something like that. Or a really highly possibility is that we could see him in a future Eternals movie, if it gets more than one movie, because there's not too much hype surrounding that movie so far. But I don't think he'll be in the first movie, but they could definitely feature him in a future movie because Thanos is part Eternal. So he could easily fit in there. Or if they wanted to, which I think would be a great idea, is have it be that maybe he faked his death. Or when Thor chopped off his head and went for the head, maybe Thanos was lying about the whole Infinity Stones thing. He still has the Infinity Stones. He used the Reality Stone, and Thor didn't actually go for the head that time, and Thanos is still alive somehow. I don't know how that would work. It'd be great to see, but at the same time, we've kind of closed that chapter on Thanos. Literally, the Infinity Saga, it's named after his whole storyline and his whole quest to get the Infinity Stones and use them to snap half the universe. So bringing him back, I don't think he would be back for like a big major role. It would probably be just a one and done, but I don't know if that would really be worth it, honestly. But then there is also the possibility, like I said, they could use the multiverse, and even though the Thanoses that we've seen so far in the MCU, or Thani, I don't know the plural version of Thanos, but obviously they're evil, the ones that we've seen, but of course with the multiverse, there's gotta be at least one version of Thanos out there in the multiverse that's actually a hero and like a good guy. So it'd definitely be interesting if we saw maybe in a future Avengers movie, if we saw Thanos teaming up with the Avengers. And I actually made a video about this, I think, like over a year ago now at this point. And it was about, there was a rumor that Thanos will be returning to the MCU as a changed man. And I don't know about that, but now that they have the multiverse, like that could easily be a way to do it. I think the best place to do that, if you don't do it in like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, is basically the next Avengers Endgame type event, which I have a feeling will probably be Avengers Secret Wars, which of course involves the multiverse and everything. So that's the perfect opportunity. Just plant Thanos in there, because then that would also bring things full circle, because he was the one that ended the Infinity Saga, and then he could be there to end all in whatever the next saga is called. And then you could even have Iron Man there and everything, because multiverse and time travel and everything. And yeah, it just sounds super crazy. I'd like to see Thanos back because he was a great villain, and I feel, it was kind of, I feel a little disappointed that he died at the beginning of Endgame, and then we just got this random 2014 version of Thanos for Endgame. So that was a little disappointing, but it made sense with all the story. So of course I'd like to see this character back again, but if they do, they just have to do it right and not force it. Like, yes, they want to bring him back because everybody knows who Thanos is and everybody loves this character, but you can't just stick him in somewhere random and be like, hey, look guys, look who we got back. It's Thanos. Like, you can't just stick him in anywhere. You gotta be very specific about this. And this is exactly the same way that goes for Iron Man and, like, Captain America, because they're probably coming back to the MCU at some point. But you have to do it in the right way, especially with Iron Man, without undoing that sacrifice that meant so much in Endgame. So, I mean, I'd definitely love to see Thanos back, but like I said, they just have to do it the right way. But with Kevin Feige in charge, I mean, I trust him, and I think things are going to work out really well for Thanos and just the future of the MCU in general. But anyways, guys, what do you think about this? Would you like to see Thanos back in the MCU? And how would you like it to be portrayed? And what movie do you think this could happen in? So thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit that subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.